What's up, everybody? Today we're talking about the home buying process here in the Finger Lakes, but stay tuned because we do it a little bit different than the traditional real estate agent. So you're gonna wanna watch to the end. Let's go. What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Anthony. It's my partner Avery, and we are American Home Team. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell so you're notified every Tuesday and Thursday that we release a new video. 100%, guys. And we are real estate agents here in upstate New York. So that means as much as we love making these videos, we would love even more to help you with your real estate needs and make a smooth move to Rochester or the Finger Lakes or just upstate New York in general. There's an email and a phone number on your screen right now. Go ahead, shoot us a text, an email, or a phone call. We are the guys that answer those text, emails, and phone calls, and we would love to have a conversation with you. And that is what we're talking about today. Guys, today we're talking about our process of working with you once you reach out to us, telling us that you want to move here to the Finger Lakes or the Rochester region because it's probably the best place to be. We haven't mentioned this in other videos before, and this is a little bit off script, Avery, but because of our network and because of this YouTube channel, we can also help you make smooth moves to other states throughout the United States and possibly even other countries. We do have a large network across the country that can absolutely help you make that smooth move. So if you're moving from New York to California or California to Arizona or whatever the case is, reach out to us. We'd love to help you. But chances are, in good hands. Yeah, absolutely. Chances are if you're watching this video, you're somehow, some way, shape, or form interested in the Finger Lakes and Rochester area of upstate New York. So without further ado, I just had to get that in there. But so guys, step number one is going to be shoot us an email for a Zoom call consultation. That is kind of what's a little bit different about how we do things. A lot of people don't do this. Their first substantive contact with you is showing a home. There's no real rapport built. There's no real confidence built in that agent, and they don't get to understand you and your family and your lifestyle. And so that's what we kind of pride ourselves on. Yeah, and a lot of you that are going to be reaching out to us come from other areas, right? Whether it's other states, other countries, or just other parts of New York State. And we recognize that in order to get a face-to-face, you don't necessarily just want to drive 5 hours to meet us or figure out that we're the right guys for you. So the Zoom consultation helps us understand who you are, who your family is, what are your goals, what is your mission with this purchase, and also what's your current situation, right? What kind of money do you have? What kind of home do you have? What's your lifestyle like, right? And then also, how much money do you make? Because if you're going from California over to New York, you're probably gonna have a lower cost of living here in New York. But if you're going from Florida or North Carolina, you're probably gonna have an increased cost of living, right? So the Zoom consultation helps us understand your situation a lot better. And that gives us the warm and fuzzy, and it also gives you the warm and fuzzy that you're gonna be in good hands because we know what you're looking for and where you're coming from. The other aspect of that too is personality match, right? For one, making sure that we're a good match for you. But then also making sure that any other provider, any other lender that we set you up with, being a loan officer, a home inspector, etc., is gonna be a good personality match for you. Everybody that we work with is highly vetted and highly qualified, but we just wanna make sure that the personality is something that you're gonna vibe with so that, you know, there's no issues, I guess, along the way. No clashing. No clashing in personalities, because it's an emotional process. For sure. So we definitely want to manage those expectations up front, manage all the emotions up front, and let you guys know what you're getting into. That's right. All right, guys, so step number two, after contacting us and having the Zoom consultation, is to get pre-qualified and or pre-approved by a lender or some kind of bank or financial institution. A lot of you are probably gonna be selling your home in order to move here, right? And so you'll have some cash in the bank. And so those are some things that you wanna share with the loan officer
to tell them to make sure that you're as financially strong as possible, right? If you're not selling your home and you're a first-time home buyer, or maybe you're just coming out of a short-term rental or whatever the case is, you still want to let that lender know what your situation is. That way they know how much money you have, they know what your credit score is like, all of that stuff. And that way we can maximize how much house you can buy.
Yeah, guys, so when we get you in touch with the lender there, not only are we gonna make sure it's a personality match, right? But we're going to make sure that they are local, because a lot of the time when you go on Google, step number one is gonna be get pre-approved. We always say, come to us first, so that we can match you with a local lender, because what that does is, in this market, especially the Finger Lakes market, sellers require local lenders. They don't want to see a big box lender that you might see on TV.
Like
right?
a Rocket Mortgage.
A Rocket Mortgage or something like that. So they want somebody local, somebody who knows the market, where the appraisers are living in and working in this market 24/7.
Yeah.
Right? And so that is very crucial. And so we just want to harp that. And that is the biggest reason for that consultation, aside from getting to know you guys and your families. But obviously this step does not apply if you're purchasing in all cash, right? So if you're selling your house and you have an abundance of cash and you're coming here and buying something all cash, then forget about the pre-approval process. We're good to go. And we still have a few more steps to go, but you get the point. So the pre-approval process is very important, especially with a local lender. It just establishes your credibility and your worthiness, I guess, of being a buyer in this market.
Yeah, and we like to try and match you with at least 3, right? 2 of them probably aren't gonna be a match for you for whatever reason, and then 1 of them you'll choose and you'll start working with. But the reason we give you 3 is not only because people like options, right? But because every bank and every lender has a different program out there, right? And some programs are gonna benefit you, some aren't. So it's nice to go through that with a fine-tooth comb and figure out what's gonna benefit you and get the most bang for your buck.
All right, guys, so once you get pre-approved, or we have the conversation, we figured out exactly what kind of house you're qualified for, then we're gonna start getting into the nitty-gritty of having another consultation, sitting down with you and figuring out your exact wants and needs. What kind of things are non-negotiables? You absolutely need it in a house. And then what kind of things can you negotiate on, right? Do you need a window over that sink, or do you just want a window over that sink, right? Things like that.
And don't be afraid to throw in your religious beliefs or any of that stuff, right? We're here to help you get the house that you want. Not that we want, or not that's gonna be easy to find. We want to help you find the house that you want. We had a couple a while ago, I don't know, 2 years ago or so, that needed they needed a window in like the office space to be facing east, right? And that was for prayer time and whatever else it was. So we were able to find them a house where the window was facing east, and that satisfied them. But don't be afraid to point things out like that. We're not looking for the easy path, right? We're looking for the path that's gonna get you the best house available. And with that said, guys, we are definitely the guys that are gonna go above and beyond in terms of looking for off-market listings, looking for sale by owners, right? Trying to pull houses out from under people, like trying to get them to sell right away. If you can't find a house on Zillow, or if you have like something in your head that you like, right? A style, maybe it's a Craftsman, but the inside is like, I don't know, like super updated and super eclectic or something. Give that to us, and we will go out of our way to look for it. Whether or not we'll find it is a different story, right? Because sometimes things just don't exist, but we would love to try that for you. So
I think a more common example of that would be, say you had back or a knee surgery, right? And you absolutely need a ranch because you can't do stairs. That's very common, especially among elderly or people who were in an accident or something like that, right? So we definitely want to make sure that we can get you in something. So that second consultation after you get approved, we're going to make sure that we can go hunt for those type of properties.
Do you have dogs? Do you have kids? Do you need a fenced in yard? All of that stuff. All right, guys, and with that, what we like to do so that you're not subjects to our schedule and running around and all of that stuff and missing listings potentially, right? Because of our schedule, we like to set you up on what's called a drip campaign, which any house that comes on the market, the second it pops on the market and into the MLS, it's gonna funnel into your email. So we set you up on this email so that number one, it's easier for us because we don't have to email it to you, but it's faster and you get to see it right away. Whenever you check your email, you get that notification, you look at the house, do I like it, yes or no? Contact us if you like it. If not, throw it away.
Yep. And I don't recall if you said this, but the only houses you'll be getting are the ones that have the exact criteria that you gave us.
Yep.
Right? So you're not gonna be getting these houses that are way above your budget or way under what you're looking for. It's gonna be the exact criteria that you're looking at.
Yep.
So with that, if you're receiving properties that maybe you don't like or it's not a fit for you, or you see something that, hey, I wanna add this to the needs list, right? Then we're gonna update that, and then now you can start receiving those new homes.
Yep. It's a living feature, right? We can update it any day, any hour, it doesn't matter. We can update that for you. You can update it, right? You can put in little notes in the portal, and you can heart properties and all of that stuff, send us comments, and it's a living being,
Yep.
right? And what that does though is the second you get that, you can heart it, you can comment on it, you can text us, call us. We prefer text and call, but you can do all of that, and then we can go and schedule the showings.
Yep.
Once we start looking at homes, now it's like, hey, game on, this is real. We're inside the house. What is it that I thought I liked that I actually hate?
Yeah, and that's important. And I do just want to make one thing clear though, that isn't the only way that we'll be showing you houses through this portal, right?
Yeah.
We will be hunting ourselves. So a lot of
That's our
people are
job,
like,
though.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But a lot of buyers, you know, they have a bad experience where it's, you know, oh, my agent isn't sending me any houses or whatever, and it's just that campaign there, and there's nothing off market. There's no you know, potential inventory. There's, you know, nothing different.
Yeah.
And so we will do our best to go above and beyond for all those other methods on something we see pop up on social media or other opportunities that we can try and get into for you. But once you do see something that you like that we send you, or maybe you see it first and you could send us, right? We end up going to see the property. And when we're in the properties, like Avery said, then you can fine tooth comb, narrow it down,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you know, you can narrow down exactly what you want, right? Because sometimes it's different when you get in, especially for first-time home buyers. If you get in a house, you see that a certain window, or you see something that maybe you thought you wanted,
Yeah.
and now you're like, holy crow, I don't like that. I really don't like that.
Or the pictures make it feel a lot bigger.
Yep.
Right? Because sometimes photographers get a little overzealous.
They're very good at what they do.
And sometimes the virtual staging
Yeah.
is a little nicer than the house looks, right? And so that's the part of showings that aren't really fun, but it helps you whittle down your dream home or whatever that house is, right? Maybe it's an investment, I don't know. But that helps you whittle down those properties to the one that you're gonna buy. And we're not the person that's gonna tell you that we're only looking at 4 houses with you. We will literally look at, I mean, how many houses have you shown
A lot.
to Mackenzie?
A lot.
Yeah. So
A lot.
over the course of 2 years they've been looking just in and out of lease cycles and things like that, but we're not afraid to show you 100 houses if need be. We want to, obviously we prefer not to, but we want to make sure that you get into the house that you absolutely love. Otherwise, we're not satisfied.
The reason though that we like to show you more homes is because we like becoming friends with all of our clients.
Yeah.
All of our home buyers and our sellers. We enjoy becoming friends and almost like a close second family. And so the longer the lifespan of that, obviously the more annoyed everybody gets,
Yep.
right? Maybe if you're losing out on offers or something like that. But the goal is not to do that. But the longer that lifespan, the better relationship that we get to have with you, which is pretty cool. But
Yep.
it's a weird business that's something that you don't really want, because that means that you're not getting your way.
Yeah, yeah. All right, and then once you find that dream home, that home you love, that investment property you love or whatever, right? We are master crafters at writing offers. Just the way we write it, right? And the things that we can put in it to make it seem like a better offer, even though it might be comparable to some others, right? We love doing that for our clients. And so when you guys find that home, wherever it is, whatever it is, you write that offer. we can help you figure out what's gonna be a solid offer, what's something reasonable, what's something competitive. Because there are times that buyers will come to us and ask us like, hey, what do we need to do to stand out in this market? And unfortunately, sometimes it's just money, right? Sometimes it's just money.
That being said though, it's not only cash that's competitive.
That's right.
You can be one of these quote unquote lesser qualified loans, right? Then cash. Everybody likes to say cash is king, right? But it's not always king when the cash amount is lower than the conventional amount, or lower than the VA amount, right? So it really depends on the strength of the offer.
Money's money at the closing table.
Yep, it's all deposited into your bank account the same exact way. So we include things like escalation clauses. If you go to our social medias, we expose basically all of the tips and tricks and tactics that we do to help win our clients some offers and the house that they want to buy. It's not to say every single time it works. It's a competitive market, but it works more often than not, I think.
Yeah, and here in New York, we have what's called a contingency period. Other states, it's called due diligence. And we don't automatically get that contingency period, right? That's a negotiable factor in an offer. So some things that we can do, like if you want an inspection, but we know that it's gonna hurt your competitiveness with that offer, is do a pre-inspection, right? Where an inspector walks with us in that showing, through that showing, on a house that you think you're gonna love. An inspector comes with us, you decide to write an offer, you already have that inspection done. You already know what you're getting into. That way you can go in non-contingent on the inspection. Those are just a couple of things to think about as we kind of roll through this cycle. But once we make that offer, now it's just up to us negotiating on your behalf, obviously going back and forth with you to make sure everything, you know, aligns with your goals. But that's it. And hopefully they accept it. And if not, back to the drawing board. But now you kind of get a taste of what that's like.
And it's important to know and understand that as a client of ours or as a buyer of ours, we are a fiduciary. So we have fiduciary duties to you, which means that everything you tell us, everything that we talk about, it's all confidential, everything. So when we're negotiating on your behalf, we're not exposing any critical details that might hinder your chances of getting that house.
That's right.
We're not giving up anything like Social Security. We won't even know that, to be honest with you. But there's nothing crazy there. So I think that's important because a lot of buyers are like, well, how do I know if I can trust you? We are fiduciary. We have fiduciary duties. Just like an attorney, just like a doctor, just like many of these other professional jobs, we are fiduciaries. So just make sure you understand that.
The next two things, and I'm going to group these in because one we'll speak on very lightly. Once your offer is accepted on a home, what we like to do is we like to take you, add you on Facebook, add you on Instagram, all of that stuff, and then also put you in our Extended Family of American Home Team Facebook page. That way, especially if you're out of state or something, that way you can connect with all of our previous clients and they can tell you the best restaurants, they can tell you the best grocery stores, they can tell you what's happening in the area. They'll invite you to mom dates or kid dates or play dates or whatever, dog dates.
That's the coolest thing is when all the kids get together and they get to go and you know, make new friends and things like that, right? It's not just for the adults. It's also for the kiddos. It's for cousins, aunts, uncles, whoever, right? Maybe you got family wherever you're moving from and somebody else does too. Or somebody's introducing you to a new part of the neighborhood or, you know, other people that you can connect with that might work in the same place that you work at or, you know, whatever. So it's a really cool thing that we like to do for all of our clients.
And our clients are anywhere from fitness trainers to HR professionals to police officers, to business owners, to truckers, to other realtors, military,
all the above.
You name it, right? So if there's a connection to be made there, you're gonna find it in that group, which we take a lot of pride in. But moving on, with that, once again, after your offer is accepted, that's when things kind of die down and then get kind of slow. We're doing some paperwork, some things like that on the back end. You're kind of dealing with the bank and making sure that they have all of your financial statements, your credit, your job history, all of that stuff, right? And with that said, if you want a list of all of those documents and stuff, shoot us a comment or a message or an email to this email right here, and we will send you a checklist of documents to get ready for the lender. But with that said, you're gonna be kind of like going through all of that stuff. The attorneys are gonna be pulling title and the deed paperwork and doing all of that stuff, right? Really, really boring stuff. You don't need to know about it unless there's an issue. You are gonna have to have a survey, right? So the survey is gonna be done.
Yep.
All of that's going on in the background, and you're gonna feel like nothing's happening. It's happening.
Yep.
The next step is literally the final walkthrough. We're gonna schedule the closing, because we'll get the clear to close. We're gonna schedule the closing, and then it's gonna be the final walkthrough. I don't know. I'm sure that other states have final walkthroughs. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the final walkthrough is so that you get another glimpse at the property and make sure that it's the condition that you saw it in originally.
Yeah, so what I wanted to say was that in many other states, you've probably heard of a 1 week close or a 1 day close even in some states. Here, you're probably gonna, the typical period is anywhere from 30 to 60 days.
Yep.
And that's because of usually attorneys. We're an attorney state, not just a title state like a lot of other states. One of our partners out in Colorado just closed a deal that it took, I think he said 12 days. So that for us, that is crazy.
Yep.
But just know as a buyer, you're not gonna be able to go from offer acceptance to moving in the home in 2 weeks.
Yep.
It's gonna be 30, 45, 60 days maybe.
Yep. And that's the frustrating part. Like I said, a lot of it's long and drawn out and boring. That's what we're here for. We're gonna try and keep you entertained during that time. Might throw some issues at you intentionally, might not. No, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna do that. But we're gonna try and keep you entertained some way and just keep you in the loop, right? Keep you in the know. Make sure you know what's going on. And were you gonna say something?
No.
Okay.
We'll be texting back and forth with you, you know, so you literally know what's going on every step of the way. And, you know, if the lender reaches out to us, because we're in communication with all the different parties throughout the process, right? So if I know that a certain step is coming up, we're gonna be texting you, hey, just so you know, here's what's coming next, right? Yep. Or so-and-so is gonna be reaching out to you, so expect a call from them. Yep. And, you know, so then you're expecting it, you're at work or something, you don't have to miss it.
That's right. And our transaction coordinator, she does a great job with all of that as well. If there's paperwork to be signed or sent or received or whatever, she's very, very good at getting it out on a timely manner.
Yep.
You'll see it probably come from our name or maybe it's her name. I'm not really sure actually.
I think it's her name.
Okay.
Yep.
And we'll introduce you. We'll make that introduction so that you know that it's not just some weird lady emailing you.
Yep.
But she's very good at kind of coordinating all of that stuff. And what I wanted to say too was this whole process, right? Part of the pre-qualification and looking at homes and things. If you have a house to sell, we're gonna make that process so much easier because we're gonna time the closing on your new home with your old home, or however you want to do that. If you can get a hotel and a storage unit for a couple of days, great. If you have family up here that you're gonna stay with for a couple of days, great. But our job is to help you time those moves. And so all of this that we've been talking about is pretty much setting up that timeline, right? And it allows us to help you make that move and make it a smooth move.
And one thing I want to note on that is if you do have a house to sell, it's very likely that we have a partner in your area that we work with and have worked with before. So if you let us know right where you're located at, and you know, we can find that agent for you to help you, and so that way we can communicate back and forth more effectively to establish those timelines and get your closings as squared up as possible. But going back to what you were saying about the final walkthrough, you're just making sure everything is shored up. You're going through that house one last time to make sure there's no crazy damage when the seller's moved out of the house or anything. You're making sure all the water's on, utilities are on, and that the house is good to go. It's in broom clean condition. And then the next day you go to closing.
All right, and then when you're at closing, congratulations, you made it to the Finger Lakes and Rochester region, and you made it through a transaction with American Home Team, with the twins, and we couldn't be more grateful. But guys, if you wanted any of that stuff sent to you in a PDF format, we're more than happy to do that. Shoot us an email, a phone call, a text message, and let us know. We can draft all of that up in a PDF or shoot multiple videos for multiple different steps.
Yep.
And we can personalize it to your personal situation. That way, it's kind of a personalized process for you, right? So with that said, guys, that is the process of buying a home here in the Finger Lakes and or Rochester region.
Yep.
We started throwing in Rochester because people want to know about it, right? It's so close to the Finger Lakes, it's in the Finger Lakes, and people want to know about it. So that said, that's the process here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us and let us know if you want those PDFs and or individual videos.
Yep, and guys, we apologize because for this whole winter stint here, these 6 months of winter, we're gonna be doing this type of thing where we're bobbling back and forth because
Trying to stay warm.
It's pretty cold out here, so just trying to stay warm, keep the blood flowing. But if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell so you're notified every Tuesday and Thursday that we release a new video.
See you guys.